Welcome to the Arsenal Present. How we doing this beautiful day, beautiful day. Before we get into the nitty gritty, let's know let's perform our regular ritual and the protocol. Strike the like button, very, very important. Subscribe, yes, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Let me repeat and raise my voice for those at the back who didn't hear me the first time. Like the video, subscribe, yes, subscribe, and make sure your notification bell is turned on. Check it and make sure it's turned on. So, what are we speaking about today? Poch has been sacked. Was sacked a few days ago. I think 2 days ago to be precise. The news got broken by Matt Law. According to reports, it was mutual consent, but we know mutual consent, sack, dismiss. Come on, almost under the same umbrella. It depends on what kind of nomenclature you are comfortable with. He has been sacked. He has been dismissed, led by mutual consent. He has actually left the Chelsea building. He has been ousted from the Stamford Bridge. Now, some of you might argue it feels very harsh. Why would they sack him now? In the last 5 games, he won the last 5 games. He brought a bit of form back to Chelsea. Very convenient because I will argue 85% of the Chelsea fans wanted him out because objectively, Poch has had a poor season. Not subjectively, objectively, Poch has had a poor season. You can't tell me this season is just 5 games. There are 38 games just for him to start playing well in relative terms and win the last 5 games does not. It means a little more in the grand scheme of everything. He has had a poor season objectively, so I can understand the argument that come on, he's beginning to find some form, find some rhythm. Why don't we keep him? Fair, but unfortunately, you don't make that call. The hypocrisy is that a lot of Chelsea fans, not in all Chelsea fans, a lot of Chelsea fans wanted him out. Right now, he wins a few games where we can consider that there is no pressure because it's easy to win under no pressure. It's easy to win when there is no huge stake, right? So I see both sides that okay, why don't you give him some time? He's beginning to reap some fruits at the end of the season. Maybe that form can actually usher them to next season. I see that point. And from the owner's point, I can see the fact that he has objectively had a poor season because the season doesn't just consist of the last 5 games. So both sides, I see the argument, but if you look at it more accurately and logically, he has had a poor season. So I see why. And just on the flip side, there are news and rumors bubbling in the background that they've had a disagreement about how the club will move forward, the policy. Poch wants the Chelsea recruitment team to bring in more experienced players to add to the youngster that they have. And on the other side, the owners, right, Todd Bowley and Co., Egbali and Co., want to stick to the young, bringing the young talent all over the globe to the club kind of policy, which there's an impasse. And you can see that the owners, they bankroll the club. Poch is an employee. If they are actually bumping heads, what do you expect to happen? And the third point is that people are not looking at is the fact that a lot of Chelsea are beginning to murmur and run with the narrative that the team plays better without Enzo Fernandez. And that would not actually be music to the ears of the owners. Like, that is their marquee, quote unquote, marquee investment, right? So he has to make it work. You cannot tell the owners that their marquee investment in Enzo Fernandez, which they had to travel to make that. Remember when they got in, I think last January, not this January, last January, when they had to be a Portugal, they virtually got in on the last minute of the transfer window. They're going to tell them that he might not be working. Objectively, I understand that some players might not work in certain leagues, but these owners do not want to hear that. You have to make it work. So there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of conversations that both owners and Poch could not agree on, and you can see why the so-called living by mutual consent looks like the only option that had to be taken. So I get both argument why some Chelsea fans want Poch will have stayed on and see what we'll have done next season. And I get the other aisle of the argument of why we can see that Poch had to be let go because objectively, the season has not been a good one. Objectively, some players are not thriving under him, especially at my key investment, I Enzo Fernandez. So, and the fact that he wanted to keep Conor Gallagher, and the Chelsea hierarchy want to sell him for pure profit to help the FFP cause. So there are a lot of issues behind the scenes as you couldn't agree. So I say it, and I say it. You cannot tell me there's not something there for the owners to dismiss Poch because one more time, look, I'm repeating myself too much, but objectively, Poch did not have a great season. All this narrative of is great with young players. He did at Southampton, he did at Spurs. Those are subjective way of looking at it. But how come he couldn't do it at Chelsea? Because Chelsea have scores of young players, but somehow Poch didn't make this work. So I can see the argument from both sides. So Poch had to be let go. He had to be let go, and let's see whether he can get on that job in Premier League. There are rumors that maybe Man might be taking a keen eye on him. Let's see this progresses. It's going to be a long summer in terms of speculation, in terms of uh, player recruitment, and in terms of movement of managers from one club to another. So let's see how that one continues. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Do you agree with Chelsea hierarchy? No, letting go of Poch, or Poch walking. Like I said, it depends on the nomenclature you want to choose. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Now let's move to the next man who the rumors are beginning to swell more about his potential exit from Old Trafford. Harry Ten Hag, there are rumors, especially that was actually should I say confirmed? Should I say DiMaggio came out boldly yesterday to say Eric Ten Hag will be let go after the FA Cup. Whether he wins the FA Cup against Manchester City or he loses to Manchester City, he will be let go. That's some strong take. Now, I'm not taking it overly seriously because we saw the same DiMaggio during the transfer window last time, especially in the summer. Make that call that Declan Rice was keen on going to Manchester City and the deal was all done. And we found out that was a blatant lie. Obviously, Declan Rice played for Arsenal, eventually signed for Arsenal. So when it comes to DiMaggio, I am not overly confident about how his news can be. Now, when it comes to Italian news, he's great. But when it comes to the English news, I don't trust him. If David is not saying it, even Fabrizio, who is looking a little bit fishy these days, has not said anything about emphatically saying Ten Hag will be sacked. We have to pump our brakes. I understand he's under a lot of pressure. Some section of the Man U fans don't want him anymore. Some section are saying give him time. The players are not great enough. There's player power. All kind of shenanigans and politics going behind the scene in terms of the Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out. In terms of Ineos making their decisions. So we don't really know, but we understand why the pressure is high. Last season I called it. That last season was a false kind of result for tonight. Yeah, he came third, he won the Carling Cup. Look at the run he had in Carling Cup. Very favorable run. You cannot measure the success or the progress of a team by just cups. I'm not saying let's dismiss cups. Cups are important, but the real test, the real barometer, the real yardstick of measuring a team's progress or retrogression is through the league form, because you're going to play 38 games against your opponent. So that's when you can judge the organic and the real progress or regress of a team, not just cups. One more time, listen carefully to comprehend and understand. I'm not saying dismiss cups. Cups are fantastic to win, but at the same time, you have to make sure you are progressing as a team in your league. You have to make sure, and we can see that Man U has regressed. Eric Ten Hag has broken all kinds of unhealthy record for Man U this season. All kinds of unhealthy records. And I understand why there's a large section of the fans who want him out, regardless of I understand the fact that there's a lot of player power and politics in the team. Eric Ten Hag has made some very, very poor signings. His talent ID is very, very shoddy. I get that. But on the flip side, the performance has been poor. They've suffered a lot of injuries too. I get it. But despite the injuries, the poor performances are inexcusable. The poor performances are inexcusable. So is a proverbial dead man walking. I agree. Eric Ten Hag is on that verge of dismissal, whether he wins the FA Cup or not. But I think if he wins the FA Cup, there might be a little bit of magnanimity from Ineos to keep him. And on the flip side, they might decide, we want a fresh restart, we want a refresher, we want our man, because they might want their own personal man. And there are a lot of speculation. There's Tuchel, there's the guy from Ipswich. There are a lot of speculation regarding who Ineos might want to bring in. But will Eric Ten Hag be sacked after the FA Cup? I don't personally know. Do I trust the fact that DiMaggio is emphatically saying that whether he wins the FA Cup or not, he's going to be sacked? I don't totally trust it, but I won't dismiss it. I'm just giving my honest opinion. If you ask me, do I think he should be sacked? It's a tough one because everything had has been poor. Even last year when it came to it was a forced rep. Because if you watch the teams, right, it got by individual brilliance of Rashford and sometimes of Casemiro. You cannot get by individual brilliance all the time. I'm not going. You have to measure the progressive success of a team by how they play, how they defend. You can visibly see the identity of the team. But when it comes to Harry Ten Hag, there is no identity to the team. There is no pattern of play. Even though we can argue the quality of players, but the way they've considered goals this season, the way the kamikaze defending, regardless of the injuries, is not just good enough. In my personal opinion, I'm not one to call the shoulder to keep him or not. But if you press me and press me to make a decision, I will not keep him. I understand the injuries. I understand the player power, but at the same time, the recruitment, some of the players he brought in have been very, very poor. You should not be losing or breaking all kinds of unhealthy records, even though with the Manchester United team. It's poor, but they should not be as poor as that. So if you press me to give my own verdict on Heritage Act, but that is not my call. Guys, let me know what you think about him. Will you keep him? Will you dismiss him? Let me know in the comment section. So, guys, we've discussed the sacking or the parting way by mutual consent of Poch and the potential dismissal of Eric Ten Hag. Let me know what you think about both managers in the comment section. You think it's harsh for Poch to let go? Do you think to be harsh for the Man U board Ineos to sack Eric Ten Hag? Even if he manages to, I don't believe he'll win the FA Cup. If he manages to win the FA Cup, do you think it'll be harsh for them to dismiss him? Let me know in the comment section. So on your way out, guys, be kind enough to strike the like button, subscribe or consider subscribing. Yes, subscribe, very important, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more time, let me repeat for those who didn't hear me the first time, those at the back, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.